Chris, I've always wanted to ask this too. When I hear your program, that How to Survive with Danielle and Kristine, you guys allude to your many jobs you've had in your life, because you're almost like Walter Mitty. Is that,
yes.
Is that where you've done everything? You worked on a cruise ship for a little while.
I did, yeah.
What did you do on the cruise ship?
I worked, so on cruises, they have crew and staff. And staff are the people, like, if you worked on a cruise ship as a comedian, you would be staff.
Okay.
Staff are the people who are entertainment and have fun, and crew are the people who are, kept on the bottom of the ship, a little bit like prisoners.
Oh, all right.
And they work as wait staff, and they do all the jobs that, Americans don't usually do. They get those people from the countries where they don't have to pay people minimum wage.
Okay.
That's where I worked.
Oh, you worked down there?
Yeah.
In literal steerage. I know you say that as a joke.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, for a very short time, because I didn't realize what Royal Caribbean.
Okay.
I didn't realize what I had gotten myself into, even though I was warned and discouraged by actual Royal Caribbean to not take
They told you don't take this job.
They were like, don't do this, and
So what made you take it then?
I was young. I wanted to travel. I had not been out of Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I had just graduated from college, and I wanted to see the world, but I didn't have any other way to do it. And this seemed like a way to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And to make money.
Right.
Because I wanted to move to LA and pursue comedy and writing and all the things that you come out here to do. So I was like, well, this is the way I get to do it. I get to see some of the world, make some money, and then I'll be able to go. And then quickly realized this was not a good option, but it was actually a real nightmare. And
Really?
You aren't equipped. I mean, I thought, and also when he was like, you don't know what you're getting into. Americans never take this job. You need to basically go back home and, do something else. I was like, he doesn't know who I am. Like,
Right.
he doesn't know that I worked in a factory in college and on an assembly line, and I've waitressed and bartended my way through college. Like, I'm really tough. I'm not like most girls.
Yeah.
I can change the oil in my car. Like, I thought, I'm tough. I can handle this. This is a waitressing job. It's,
Right.
No big deal.
Instead,
It was, but it was like nothing I'd ever experienced before. The hours were so incredibly brutal, and the trays you carry are so heavy. They're huge, and you have to wear these back braces, and it's also kind of an unsafe environment, for women particularly, where we were kept, as prisoners. It's really low in the bottom of the ship. Your rooms are really, really small. Like, I couldn't lift my head really in my bunk.
oh my God, you're bunk.
You're in a bunk with another person that you've never met.
What?
So you have two little tiny beds, and it's really crammed, and the room is really small. And the woman I was bunking with, I think she was from maybe Yugoslavia. And I mean, the first thing she was like, don't walk the halls without another person ever. And
the halls down there.
Yeah, like to your work, which were filled with garbage. So just like rotting, like in bags, but like open and just smelling. And a lot of the people kept their doors open because it's so small, and they're just like smoking, and it stinks. Their music's all blasting. And I'm thinking Love Boat, right? That's my frame of reference.
Yes, of course.
So I'm imagining myself in this suite alone.
Right.
Where I'm going to work a little, but also like go on some vacations.
Yeah, you're going to see the world.
You get a half day off once a week where you have about 4 hours maybe to yourself if you want to get off the boat. But it's like not even really enough time to get off the boat. And your work hours are like, you start work at 5 a.m. and then you'll work like a 6-hour shift, and then you'll have like an hour, and then you start your next 6-hour shift.
Whoa.
And then you'll have like 3 hours, and then you would have you'd work the midnight buffet until like 3 a.m. and then you start at 5 a.m. all over again.
Wait, when do you sleep?
You really don't. Like, you work these 16-hour days.
That's not, so it's legal because
they're out at sea.
That's insane.
And the pay was like $3 an hour or something. It wasn't legal minimum wage because they don't have to pay it.
Right.
And they're doing it. It's a lot of people who live in these really poverty-stricken countries so they can get away with it. And it was, my eyes were so open to how sort of awful people were treated on these cruises.
Yeah.
The employees that work in that area, that I was like, I will never go on a cruise. I will never. And by the fourth day, I was sobbing so much. Like the room across from me, this guy was blasting Cat Stevens' Wild World.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I went up to Human Resources, and I had like these big circles under my eyes. I hadn't eaten. I'd just been up for 4 days straight.
Yeah.
And I went to Human Resources, and I was like, I can't do this. And none of the people who worked with me really would talk to me because I was an American, and they were laughing at me. They were like, you're an American. No American has ever made it. One guy made it 2 weeks. That's the longest he made it.
Okay.
So they were just laughing at me.
Yeah.
That the idea that an American would be there. And I went, and he goes, why don't I take you over to the staff, not like their hangout area, where they sit and had lunch together and hung out. And they took me to this room. It had a full view of the sea. They were literally eating strawberries and hanging out and talking. We had no room like that. There was a place where you could go get food served on trays, where these guys that literally looked like prisoners would slop it on your tray. You didn't know what it was.
What?
For your meal. They'd be like, it's meal time. And you'd put your tray up, and it was this small room, like the size of a box, and they just slop the food on, and it would be like rice and
something.
You didn't even know. But you just eat it because it was like, that's what you got to eat.
And that's for the crew.
That's for the crew.
But now the staff
is
the entertainers, the bands, and so they're getting.
It's like beautiful strawberries. They could have drinks. They had a full bar, whatever food. They're all happy and laughing and smiling. And they were like, hey, and they're introducing themselves. I just started crying. I was like, I'm in the wrong place. I think I'm supposed to be with you guys, but I don't know what to do. I'm like 24. And they all look like me and like are having a great time. And I'm like, something wrong has happened. I'm in the wrong place. But they didn't understand. I was like kind of trying to explain, but they were having a completely different experience on the same ship.
They weren't even aware of the other.
Oh no, they didn't understand because they don't see any of that.
Right.
There's this underneath thing happening.
Wow.
To hear the whole conversation, subscribe for free on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, or visit nevernotfunny.com.